Well, I think I've just been waiting to play basketball for a really long time now. You know, you go through the preseason games, you go through a lot of training camp. It's been a few weeks now. I think you're just itching to get out there and really play like a real game. That's going to count towards your record. But, I mean, I feel like I have a better understanding of how everything works, a better understanding of what to expect when you get in the game, when you get in these environments. You know, I've played in this arena for a year now, so I think just relying on the experience of playing here for a year, but also like this is going to be this team's first time playing together too, so there's going to be a learning curve there and a challenge that's presented, and it's not everything's going to be perfect. It's just got to play through it, play through the mistakes. That's what Coach Steph talks about all the time. So, you know, just learn and go out there and compete and get the win.
From the outside, this team looks a lot different. There's a lot of new faces on this year's team. Maybe some more expectations for a deeper run in the postseason. Do you feel that from the inside too, that there's maybe a different feel for this year compared to last year?
You know, I always expect to win, whether it's last year or whether it's this year. I think last year, you know, our goal was getting back to the playoffs. So coming in here as a rookie, that's kind of what we were expected to do. And then, you know, this year our front office made a lot of really great changes to be able to put this roster together and construct a team that can really win now if we, you know, do everything the right way. But, you know, it's a long season. It's 44 games. It's going to take a lot of time. And then once you get to the playoffs, that's when you need to be playing your best basketball. So in our locker room, I mean, you know, we expect to win championships, and, you know, that's what we're going to try to do.
Is there anything you did or thought about last year going into your season opener that you're changing this year with the knowledge of knowing this league?
Honestly, I don't even really remember season opener last year. Maybe that's a good thing. I think just going out there and having fun and being confident. And, you know, I've been in this league for a year now. I know I belong. I know I can perform, and I know I can make my teammates better every single night, and that's my job. So just being confident in that, and, you know, coming out here and doing. Not everything's going to be perfect. Give yourself grace. You know, there's going to be really good moments. There's going to be moments where you struggle. So just trying to stay as neutral as I can and stay positive. But I think just being confident, and, you know, I've been in these moments before, and I'm ready for them.
Before last season, I think you had the lighthearted moment goal to put the smile, like
Yeah.
in this chaos smile. Is that the message again, or what have you thought about going into this?
Yeah, I think I play my best basketball when I'm having fun. So that's certainly my goal, and I feel like that's when I began to play really good basketball last year too, is when I just was relaxed and having fun and playing my game and getting my teammates involved, getting the crowd involved. Yeah, I think smiling goes a long way, not only for your teammates that are looking at you and watching you as a leader on the court, but also for myself. Like, that's a stress reliever too. So, you know, just smile and have fun. That's always what I try to remind myself. That's the reason I play this game every single day, is because I love it. You know, why else would you do it if you didn't love it? So just remind myself of that.
One thing that Leo was saying is, as players, you can't really get too caught up in rivalries. But
Yeah.
you know, fans now love this rivalry, Chicago and Indiana, because of the geographic closeness. What do you think it means to have rivalries like that in the game that people kind of extra look forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I think rivalries are good for all of sports. You know, I grew up, and whether it was the high school football team that my grandpa coached, playing their rival, like I grew up not liking the rival high school, even though like I was 5 years old. That was just because what my family did. So like rivalries are real, and that's what makes sports so amazing. You know, there's certain teams that those games just mean a little bit more. So I think for our team though, you know, you come out here and you play the same way every single night, but I think it gets the fans involved, and they love it. And, you know, I think it's a great part of sport, is having those rivalries that people get really amped up about and love coming in this arena and cheering for.
Is there any correlation between your first game as a freshman in college and your first game as a sophomore and your first game as a pro? And then, because it seems to me like it's a world of difference coming in your second year as a pro.
I think it's like you show up in a new chapter of your life, is like, all right, well, you know, you're trying to prove to yourself, you're trying to prove to everybody that you belong, and you're trying to find your way, you're trying to earn your spot and earn your minutes. So I think when you come into your second season, whether, you know, it's in college or whether it's professionally, or even if it's really in high school, like, you know you belong, you know what the coach expects of you, you know teammates, you know how things operate. You just have a different sense of confidence about you, and you know how to respond when, you know, things don't go your way, and you know how to, you know, appreciate the really good moments and still learn from those too. So for me, I think just in the second year is just the confidence of, you know, what I was able to do in year one, and by no means is it going to be the same. Like, you don't want it to be the same. It's a different team. You're going to create a new identity, and we're going to create a new culture and hopefully be able to win more. And hopefully perform better. But, every year is going to be different. Every game is going to be different. So I think just rely on the confidence of, being in similar moments.
Seems like the WNBA could present a lot of learning opportunities for any player. I don't know for you in the offseason if there's anything that sticks out as something that you've really learned about yourself. I don't know if like kind of having to deal with a preseason injury, if that's something that you feel like you had to learn something learn something about yourself through that.
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I think becoming a pro is where you learn a lot. And, I could have gone through this whole offseason and not done anything. Like, that's just the reality. Like, there's not a team lift scheduled on your phone in the middle of the summer. Like, that's just not how it works. Like, you're a professional. Like, you make your calendar, you make your schedule, you make your routine, you make your workouts, and, you have to be diligent in that. And I think, I'm one of those players that loves to know I'm getting every single thing done. So I think it's just having discipline, and I feel like that's what I've always had in my life, and that's a skill like not everybody can have all the time. So I feel very fortunate of the coaches, the mentors, the other teammates that I've had that have held me accountable throughout my life. Like, once you become a pro, like these are the things that really matter. You have to act like that. You have to, be accountable in January to your teammates now. Like, what are you doing in January to be better for the moments like tomorrow?
What were the motivations or things you were thinking about during those 8 a.m. workouts when it's, in the dead of winter?
I think for myself, like, I know there's so much room for me to improve. Like, that's always what I remind myself. And for me, it's like I don't really have to find motivation to get in the gym. Like, sure, like, I mean, I can be motivated that we like made it to the playoffs and lost both games, but like I love it. Like, I crave wanting to be better. I know I can get a lot better. Like, I don't think I've arrived by any means. I don't think I'm at the peak of my game yet. So it's just like, grinding for those moments and being consistent. Like, if you do it once a week, like, that's never going to show up all summer long. So just being consistent and having a routine and continue to do it over and over. So when we get into moments in, September and October, those things really shine.
Caitlin, what you've seen from this team in the preseason, has it only heightened your expectations or justified the expectations for this team?
I mean, I think it's, my expectation is the same of us winning championships, but like, when I take the court tomorrow, that's not what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about one possession, I'm thinking about one quarter, I'm thinking about how can I put my teammates in positions to be successful. Like, if you're thinking so far down the road, or if you're thinking even to the next game, like, that's a disservice to your teammates, that's a disservice to the fans here. It's, what can we do every single possession to win this game? So that's what I'll be thinking about, and the long-term goal always remains, but it's what are you going to do every single day to achieve that?
I think probably because we have our home crowd behind us, but Chicago's not too far away, so we know that their fans will be here too. But it's always great to be able to play in Gainbridge Fieldhouse. I just think our energy is so high. We're super excited to actually get our season going.
From the outside, it seems like there's just a lot more expectations. It seems like the team looks a lot different than last year, a lot of new faces. Does it feel that way from the inside too, very different from like last year, 2 years ago?
Definitely. I think last year and 2 years ago was definitely still in that rebuilding phase, but I think we've just gotten so many great pieces this offseason as well that kind of just changed that energy. And when it comes to expectations, I think it's great to have expectations for yourself. I know a lot of people have expectations for us, but as long as we keep the main thing in our locker room, I think we're going to be just fine.
Yesterday you guys had that Sports Illustrated magazine cover reveal, and it seemed like that really like hit close to home for a lot of you guys. Like, it seems like as much media attention as you've gotten the last year, boy, that really seemed to touch everybody. Why was it that was maybe so special to so many of you?
I think it's just really special just because of honestly how close we are and the bond that we've been able to build in such a short amount of time. And I think just the attention once again that the Indiana Fever has, to be able to be on that cover, I think is just truly special.
How much more at ease do you guys feel maybe going into this season compared to like the time crunch that you all had last year trying to pick up things on the fly?
I still feel like it was a time crunch, and I feel like it's still, the timing is still kind of close together, but I think being able to have 3 preseason games helped a lot. You kind of work through everything a little bit quicker, so I think having 3 was pretty great for us. But, we're excited going into the season once again. It's just a brand new season, so for us it's just about having fun.
In what ways do you feel like having depth this year will be advantageous, especially given how fast and quick you guys want to play? You can get fresh bodies in there frequently.
Yeah, our depth is going to be very crucial for us. I think everyone being able to step on the floor at any moment during the game is going to be special, especially now that we have more games this season. We'll have on back-to-backs, being able to recover, but also know that you don't have to play the full 40 minutes because you have a great amount of people coming in right behind you.
This has turned into a heck of a fun rivalry, and I know as players, you kind of have to just approach every game the same. But geographically, the closeness and everything, what does that rivalry mean to you guys as players, and what do you think it means to fans?
I think it means a lot more to fans as the rivalry. I think everyone in their fan bases just going kind of against each other. Most of it happens obviously on social media for them, so I think they kind of enjoy it. But for us, I mean, you can't put one team above another. And so we come with the same focus for every game, being mentally ready, mentally tough, because we know every single time it's going to be a competition.
Leah, where do you think this team has improved over last year now that you've seen through the preseason and practices? How much better is this team and where?
I think it's better in just the way that we are able to be connected pretty early on. Like, I think being able to see throughout the 3 preseason games the way that we've been able to get a little bit better each and every game, whereas last year I think our start was just pretty rough, and so our connectivity on the court was just super hard. Like, I think being, especially once again, Caitlin came in, and that change of pace that she plays with, I think was a lot different, especially for me coming in my rookie season. And so now it's like, you go into the off season, you played with Caitlin for a year and everyone else and Kelsey, and like, hey, this is how fast we're going to play, this is how you prep. And so being able to have that mindset coming in, I think has helped a lot.
What did a home game become last year in terms of atmosphere, and what you kind of expect tomorrow?
I mean, I expect a loud, amazing crowd. I think we saw that all our home games last year. And that's what I think I love about the fans here, is that they come out, they're loud, they support us no matter what time of game it is, no matter the score, they are loud, and we appreciate that so much.
You're going against a team that also looks a lot different. I know you guys are focused on yourself, but going into it, how much are you looking at film of last year or film of their preseason games? How much stock are you putting into it?
Yeah, honestly, you can't look at any film from last year. I think just looking at their preseason games, you're able to just see, I think they have done a great job bringing wings in on the outside that pass the ball well into the post and can also shoot the 3. And so for us, I mean, you just have to be ready at every position, because you can't look anyone off. You can't be in the paint guarding anyone. And so for us, once again, it's just being ready, making sure we're connected, especially in that defensive end. And offensively, we just do what we do.
They're ready to play. It's been, we've had 2 weeks really of practice, that they're just hungry to play. They're ready for a different opponent. No offense to the guys, they're doing a great job of preparing us, but they're hungry to get out there and to play.
How much different of a look is Chicago, both with the new coaching staff and the upgrades they made?
A lot different. First and foremost, they're shooting a ton of threes. They're playing faster. They're obviously, everybody's gotten better. Their pieces are different, so they have the guards to go along with the bigs, and they're doing a great job. Sloot's doing a great job of finding their bigs. They're hard diving, hard rolling, and then they've got 3-point shooters around them, so they're much more balanced than they've been in the past as well. So they're going to create some matchup problems, and my biggest concern is keeping them off the glass.
From what you saw out of Caitlin, watching her just as kind of a spectator last year, what's maybe the biggest difference you've seen out of her so far this season? Some maybe area of growth or progress you've seen out of her?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's been well chronicled that she's stronger, right? She's going to handle the physicality a little bit better of the league. I think the second thing is just, she's really worked on a lower center of gravity. So she's not getting thrown off balance quite as much. She's got different kinds of finishes, a different cadence in some of her attacks, not quite as predictable in those ways. And then I think the last thing is that she's got more talent around her than she's ever had in her life, right? So her ability to know and grow into when to take the shot or take over, and when to get everybody else involved, and then building that trust and knowing that she's got 5-6 people around her that can take the shot. She doesn't have to make every home run play.
Stephanie, with your history with Indiana, this franchise and everything, how exciting is it to embark on this new adventure tomorrow?
It's really exciting. I mean, it's a dream come true, really. I mean, it always has been. Every time, when I first took over here back in 15. But to be able to do it now, when we are where we are from a women's basketball perspective and a WNBA perspective, I mean, it's a different vibe. It's a different feel. And then, of course, to start off at home in the month of May with everything that's going on with the Pacers and everything that's going on with the race. It's always a really special time of year. And I think if you're not from Indiana, you don't quite sense how special a time of year it is. Pacers in the playoffs, the race coming up, and WNBA season tip-off. So just really excited about the opportunity.
I mean, to that point, honestly, there were years when the fever starting the season would have been ignored with everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, the expectations are a lot different too that come with that. How does that play into your mindset as coach?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, pressure's a privilege. But at the same time, we've got to control what we can control. And that's us getting better. That's us putting these pieces together. That's us, taking it one day at a time, continuing to grow. We know we have a lot of weapons. We know we have a lot of expectations. But we know we can't get to September and October right now. So we've got things we've got to take care of. So we've got to make sure that we stay focused and keep the main thing, and that's getting 1% better every day. That's us stacking days and continuing to grow and make one another better. That's us continuing to put the we over the me, and understanding that it's a journey. It's a journey and it's a process, and we're nowhere near where we're going to be. So that's an exciting thing, but we're excited about where we are to get this thing started.
As a coach, are you going to be able to take a few moments tomorrow, maybe pregame, to appreciate the surroundings compared to you playing high school basketball, the growth of the women's game, and now selling out an arena like this? Are you going to be able to take a few moments to appreciate that, or do you really have to be laser focused on the game itself?
I don't know. I think that, anytime you think about appreciating things, it's typically after the fact. I played in a lot of sold-out gyms in high school and in college, and, we went through this wave where the young folks forget that it used to sell out a lot, right? It used to sell out a lot. Then it became available for everyone on television, right? And then it didn't, and then it did again. And so, I think for me, I'll be focused on it, certainly. I think the first time I probably walk out onto the court will be really special. Just, being back in this state, being back in this arena with this group, with our coaching staff. I mean, all, former players, and I feel like Austin was a former player of ours, and a sold-out building. I think that'll be special, but it won't last long because we got a job to do.
Is that message of being process-oriented, does that land well because you do have the veteran presence on this team that doesn't allow them to get caught up in whatever else is out there?
I think it does. I think it lands well because we have the vets. I think it lands well because we have coaches on our staff who have gone through that process, who have gone through everything imaginable in this league, from being rookies and not playing, to being rotation players, to being counted on, to winning championships, to being role players again, having gone through injuries. I think that oftentimes, we're at that point in the league, and that point in the WNBA where you've got a lot of former players who can help navigate, and then you have the players on the floor. You have the players in the locker room that can help maintain the energy and consistency. I mean, you can't get too high, you can't get too low, and oftentimes you see that in young players. You see that in their energy, you see that in their emotions, and we talk all the time about keeping the main thing the main thing. We got to be able to get to the next play. We got to maintain our perspective and focus.